In a move that blends nostalgia with fresh transatlantic storytelling, veteran actor Wallace Shawn, beloved for his quirky role as Dr. John Sturgis in Young Sheldon, has officially joined the cast of the U.S. adaptation of Doc Martin, the critically acclaimed British medical dramedy. At 72, Shawn is proving that neither age nor typecasting can dim the creative spark that's carried him across 5 decades of theater, film, and television. The new series, tentatively titled Doc Morgan, is being developed by NBC and aims to capture the charm, wit, and offbeat emotional depth of its British predecessor, which starred Martin Clunes as the misanthropic but brilliant Dr. Martin Ellingham. While the American adaptation won't be a carbon copy, producers are eager to honor the spirit of the original while giving it a distinctly American flavor, and they believe Shawn is the perfect actor to help bridge that creative gap. A creative casting coup. Wallace Shawn's addition to the project came as a surprise to many in the industry, but insiders say it was a deliberate and inspired decision. "We didn't just want a big name. We wanted someone whose very presence could suggest wisdom, eccentricity, and unexpected compassion," said showrunner Carla Green. Wallace brings that in spades. He's not just a character actor. He's a character in the best sense of the word. Shawn will portray Dr. Lionel Krause, a retired microbiologist who resides in the quirky coastal town where Doc Morgan is set. Unlike the lead character, a no-nonsense city surgeon forced to relocate after developing a sudden aversion to blood, Krause will serve as a kind of foil. Wise but odd, helpful but unpredictable. A man of endless curiosity and odd habits, Krause may no longer practice medicine, but he can't help meddling, or advising, from the sidelines. "I read the pilot script and was absolutely charmed," Shawn said in a statement. "The tone was peculiar, delightful, and the role of Dr. Krause gave me the opportunity to explore a side of age we don't see much on television. Not just the decline, but the strange flowering of a second adolescence that can happen when you've stopped caring what people think." A second life for a beloved series. The original Doc Martin ran for 10 seasons and developed a devoted global fanbase thanks to its clever writing, emotional nuance, and the titular doctor's inability to suffer fools, or friends, gladly. Set in the fictional village of Port Wen, the series expertly blended medical procedural, romantic drama, and character-driven comedy, all framed by the rugged beauty of Cornwall. The US version, while inspired by the same DNA, is taking creative liberties with location, tone, and character arcs. Doc Morgan is set in a small fishing village on the coast of Maine. Think stormy lighthouses, clapboard houses, and lobster traps instead of stone cottages and Cornish pasties. But the themes of emotional repression, community dysfunction, and the thin line between genius and social awkwardness remain front and center. With Shawn on board, the show adds a layer of theatrical gravitas. His character will be both a mentor and a mystery. A man whose scientific brilliance is matched only by his baffling personal rituals, like feeding seagulls with chopsticks, or reciting haikus while walking backwards through the town square. He also becomes an unlikely confidant for the uptight lead, Dr. Morgan, played by the Good Doctor's Richard Schiff. Creativity across generations. There's something poetic about Wallace Shawn entering a major new television role in his 70s, particularly one that allows him to tap into the same offbeat energy he brought to Young Sheldon, albeit with more depth and complexity. In that series, his portrayal of the gentle, sometimes baffled but always insightful Dr. Sturgis offered an alternative kind of masculinity, one rooted in vulnerability, curiosity, and kindness. In Doc Morgan, the creative team is intentionally building on that legacy. "We want to showcase age not as a limitation, but as a reservoir of creative weirdness," Green said. "Dr. Krause isn't just the old guy with good advice. He's a genuine wildcard. And Wallace is fearless enough to take him to unexpected places." Shawn, for his part, sees the role as more than just another acting job. "It's a chance to reflect on how knowledge changes when you're no longer required to use it professionally," he said. "What do you do with all that accumulated wisdom, or trivia, or regret? You turn it into stories, into riddles, into tiny rebellions. That's what Krause does. That's what I do." From Port Wen to Portland Head. The pilot for Doc Morgan is currently in production, with principal photography taking place in Cape Elizabeth, Maine. Locals have already begun spotting the cast filming near the historic Portland Headlight and along the village docks. Early footage reportedly maintains the cozy, slightly surreal aesthetic that made Doc Martin so beloved, while updating the emotional tone for modern American audiences. While the show is still months from airing, early buzz has been positive, especially with Shawn's involvement. "It's a reminder that creativity doesn't have a retirement age," noted critic Lena Vasquez. "Wallace Shawn isn't just making a comeback, he's redefining what a late career renaissance looks like." Fans of young Sheldon will find familiar comfort in his performance, but Doc Morgan promises to stretch the actor in new and perhaps stranger directions. Whether he's delivering deadpan diagnoses or quoting Kafka while fishing off the pier, Dr. Krause is set to be one of the show's most memorable characters. Looking ahead as the line between British and American TV continues to blur, the success of Doc Morgan could open the door for other smart, culturally respectful adaptations of international hits. And if Wallace Shawn's performance becomes a breakout element, it could also inspire more shows to embrace older talent in dynamic, unpredictable roles. "I never set out to be a television actor," Shawn reflected in a recent interview. "But stories find you when you're ready to tell them, or when you're ready to stop pretending you know how they'll end." If that's not the perfect mantra for a series about medical mysteries, coastal eccentricity, and the infinite strangeness of human connection, what is? End of article. 1030 words. Would you like a version formatted as a press release or with social media snippets for sharing?